Hey guys, so I wanted to show you what I'm currently reading. I am reading Priest by Sierra Simone. This is a smutty romance novel about a priest who obviously does do things he's not supposed to do. Like I mentioned in one of my end of the year videos before this one comes out, I want to read more like romance smut just for funsies. I think that will make the year fun. I don't know how many I'll read, but it's good so far. It's not a very long one, less than 300 pages, and I'm on chapter 7, page 69. But it's fun, making that known. It's not as sacrilegious as Love and Other Atrocities, the other one that I read last year, but it's still, you know, religion stuff. And it's very young in the book. Like, it could get much worse. And then I'm also reading Dawn to Dawn, volume 12. I haven't read one of these since July. I went and looked at my Goodreads from last year, and I'm kind of shocked at how long of a break I took from this one, but it's not that I've forgotten anything. This series is so crazy that I think I can just jump right in. And they do fly by really fast, like just flipping through this one lightly. There's barely any dialogue. So that's kind of like the plus of reading a shonen, is you can fly through it. But just wanted to update you guys on what I'm reading. Hi, Jonathan.
Hey! Happy New Year!
I'm up close because reasons. I realized earlier that I never talked to you about the end of this book, so I'm going to do that. And then I'm also going to talk to you about another book that I happen to be reading. I'm getting them all organized over here. I finished Priest by Sierra Simone. This was a lot of fun. I think I liked the beginning a lot more than the middle, and then I really liked this portion right before the end. I didn't love the ending. I think it was okay. I think that there were parts of this that were really fun. The writing was really good, honestly. When I read smut, I don't expect the writing to be great, but the author obviously has some writing chops that I think are very nice. So I might pick up the next book in the series. I believe Sinner is the second. I don't know. If I ever get in the mood for more smut, I'll pick that one up because this was really well written. It was fun. Most of it was enjoyable. There was a little lull in the middle for me, but overall I did like it. I recommend it enough if you like those kinds of books. And now I'm reading In an Absent Dream by Seanan McGuire. If you don't know, this is, I think, the fourth book? Fourth or fifth? I think it's the fourth book in the Wayward Children series. There's I think most of them are standalones. I think the first one really kind of sets up what we're getting into, so I would start from the beginning, but I don't know if you would really be that amiss if you didn't read them in order, but I am reading them in publication order just because I want to. Either way, this one, they're all short stories about portal fantasies. Like the first one talks about this school for wayward children who are returned from portaled worlds, and they are trying to cope with it / find their portal back to their world because they want to go back. Then they break off into their own individual kids and where they went and got back and everything. And this one is about a girl named Lundy, and I'm not going to spoil it for you because she is a character in the first book, but this is her story and where she goes and what she does. And she goes to the Goblin Market. That's right. So this is really fun so far. I'm really loving the world building and the Goblin Market. I'm loving our main character. She's very interesting to me. She likes to follow rules and has a way that things are done, and she's starts off as 8 and then she goes to 10 and then, you know, so on and so forth. And she goes back and forth between the real world and her portal several times in this book. I found it very interesting, the world that she was in, even though there wasn't a ton of description there. I think it's really, really fun. So I can't wait to finish it. This is really magical, and I hope the ending is good. Okay guys, I just finished In an Absent Dream by Seanan McGuire. I wanted to tell you my final thoughts. Oh wow, this was really sad. I love it though. All of these books are so magical, so fun to be in and see just another snippet of the world that they live and they travel to and they come back from, and then their lives of what the real world is like. So it was very sad though. Especially if you know the first book and how it ends, you know how this character is treated in that book and what happens to her in relation to her story. So it's really cool to get that backstory in here. I love this. I highly recommend the series if you're wanting something fun, short, sweet, kind of fantastical. I want the next book quick. I'm also making some soup. It's kind of cooled down by now, but I made it for me and my husband. I'm gonna heat it up and add the shrimp when he gets back and noodles. It's got carrots, bok choy, some baby corn because he likes that. I just put that in there. I never put it in the soup before, but this is a new recipe I'm trying. I haven't ever tried bok choy, so we'll see if we like it. The broth is good though. I made that myself. There's a recipe I kind of went off of, but I did get really independent with it. But when he gets back, I'm going to add the meat and the noodles. Hi again. Since I finished another book very quickly, I wanted to show you the next one I'm going to start. I've decided to tackle a big one that's been very highly anticipated for me, and I'm scared to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Catabasis? How do you say this? I don't know. I've heard at least 4 different ways of saying this. But it's a heavy one because I got the special one with the sprayed edges at my local indie bookstore. But I'm a couple chapters in and it's really interesting so far. We're following this girl who's at Cambridge, and in this version of reality there's magic as a study option at Cambridge. She is about to finish and get her like whatever degree, and her professor dies, like very tragically, and I'm not gonna spoil too much about that, but she has to go get him from hell to get her like recommendation letters or something like that. So she's gonna go to hell and pull him out, which is really interesting. But there's this guy who's obviously enemies to lovers territory, who she hates, who comes with her. He just says, I'm coming with you, blah, 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 blah. And so I'm at the very beginning where they travel to hell. So they just got there. I haven't heard any descriptions of the world, but they're there. It's very heavy for me, like not just physically. Yes, it's heavy. More so the writing style compared to the Poppy War, which is the only other R.F. Kuang I've read. It was very YA, easy to digest, but still really well written, and I love the Poppy War. This is definitely seems more geared towards adults. I don't know if it's technically an adult novel, but it feels closer to the epic fantasy type of genre to me personally, because I struggle with those, and I am kind of struggling reading this, but I want to push myself to read more fantasy in the upcoming years. So I'm gonna do this one and see if I can get through it and understand what's happening and not be overwhelmed. So far so good. It's very complex to me. I know everybody has their own different levels of reading when it comes to this kind of thing, but for me this is very complex. So wish me luck. I hope I can absorb the majority of the story because I really liked Poppy War and I want this to be fun. So I will check in with you later. Mr. Yang, is you hanging out with your mama? Daddy's gone to his judo class. Daddy's taking some extracurricular martial arts classes because he wants to compete again. And Mama's staying home tonight. She usually goes with him, but sometimes she wants to stay home. Won't focus on you, Hermie. Okay, there we go. We're hanging out, reading, watching YouTube. Right now I'm watching video from Gavin Reads It All. I like his sometimes whenever I'm trying to waste some time. So watching some YouTube, reading some. I had some chamomile tea earlier. It was really good. And also one of our students in our karate class was fundraising with this chocolate. I don't know if you guys have ever seen. Well, I can't get it to focus. Gavin, you're in the way. There we go. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this World's Finest Chocolate brand. It's like a fundraising chocolate. We got these from one of our students. They were selling these and the bars version. So these are $3 and the other ones are $1. It's just a way for kids to fundraise locally. And I got 2 of the bars and 1 of these. And these are really good. And I am cramping right now. So chocolate is my best friend. Let me know what your cramping go-tos are, girlies. I want to know. Hey guys, so I'm also, other than reading Catabasis. Please tell me how to say that word. I don't know. I'm also reading this volume 11 of Kaiju number 8. Is anyone else reading this? If you're reading it, let me know what you think because I have this like weird vibe of the series. I like it. I do. I like the overall idea and the story of it. But the writing is giving like really old school shonen where they just kind of make it up as they go and they don't really have an overarching plan for the series. Like they don't have it storyboarded out because a lot of the stuff that's happening in this is very convenient or very oh yeah, we can do this, you know, like very last minute feels thrown in there. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is actually like one of the most planned out series ever. But the more I read this series, the more convinced I am that this was like a business decision, not so much a passion project. And I know that's like speaking out of my own butt. So like take this with a grain of salt. This is just me theorizing. This mixed with the anime gives manufactured, not so much passion. And I still like reading it, but I always have this like weird feeling when I'm reading it or watching the anime. If anyone knows any details about this series and its creation or the publisher about it or the mangaka or the anime adaptation or anything like that, let me know. I'm gonna do some research, but like I've had some like theories about this. It just gives me a weird vibe. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just something I'm really heavily thinking about when I read this series. But I still read it. I like it. It's fun. It's very militaristic. I just get weird vibes. But yeah, just wanted to pop that in here. Ramble. Okay, y'all, I just finished reading Catabasis or however you're supposed, I don't know how you say this. Maybe I should look it up. By R.F. Kuang. I have some milk because yes, I drink milk. Judge me. What I want to say about this book, I struggled reading this, y'all. Like, I don't read a lot of epic fantasies and I might be wrong in describing this as one, but I consider this an epic fantasy in my opinion because of how intricate the world is and how difficult it was for me to read just in general. Like it was just very smart, very profound, very pretentious, but I think that that's not really the author being pretentious as much as the characters and the world being pretentious and the whole university placeholders being pretentious. So it was kind of hard for me to read this at times. I had to Google a few words. I'm usually pretty good about understanding big words, and there were a couple in here that I was like, I have no idea. The context didn't help. Nothing was there for me to figure out clues. So I did learn from it, so that's pretty cool. I didn't love our main character's personality. She's very hard to root for because she was just so dumb but still so smart, and also just an awful human being in my opinion. But I did enjoy the story, so it wasn't enough for me to just not want to read it. So I think the characters were probably the weakest part other than our main villain. He was probably the most interesting one of them all, but we didn't get anything from his perspective really. We might have got a couple little tiny bits of that, but not enough to really get into him. I think the story overall was good. I think it could have been a little bit shorter. There were times where it kind of felt like it was going on and on a certain part of it, especially now that I've finished it. And some of those things just didn't need to be like that. But I'd say 99% of the loose ends or things that were, you know, brought up in there did eventually come back around and make sense at the end. So I did overall enjoy it. I wouldn't say it was a 5-star, but it definitely wasn't a 3. So I'm giving it a 4, just a roundabout 4, because that's the best I can do. I feel like it's probably closer to like a 3.8 or something if I were to give it an arbitrary decimal point. It still feels bad to give it a 3 because I did enjoy this a lot. I like the idea of it. I like that it kind of ties into magic, alchemy, demonic spirit, that kind of stuff. Like, it's really interesting. The subject matter itself, I think it was just a little too over my head at points. So I've hit my limit, definitely, mental capacity wise, as to what I can read. So if you have any recommendations for me when it comes to fantasy that is this level or easier to understand, let a girl know, because I love fantasy. I just really struggle with some of the language and the history and the fantastical elements of them. This one was like probably the tip top for me as far as comprehension goes, and me not having to reread the same paragraph 60 times, because there were a couple that I did have to read a couple times to get, but overall I got it on the first try. Anyways, I just wanted to update you guys because I have been really bad about doing this vlog. Like, I have not vlogged in days, so I did want to update you on that because I think I mentioned starting it in this vlog. If I didn't, holy crap. We are going shopping tomorrow for books and manga, so I'm really excited about that. I hope I find something cool. I haven't been in a while, I think. Maybe I'm just misremembering, but I'm excited to go. It's Valentine's Day weekend when I'm filming this clip, so it's gonna be a good weekend. We just got paid today, so got some money to blow, even though we shouldn't. You know how that is. I just woke up. It's Saturday after Valentine's Day. I'm very tired. I did go to shopping like for manga and books yesterday, but I didn't feel like recording. Like, there were a whole lot of people there, and normally that wouldn't deter me that much, but I don't know, I just didn't feel like doing it. You know, most of the time I can kind of just do it anyway, but I was just kind of enjoying our date, you know, and it didn't happen, so I'm sorry, but also, you know, you don't have to make everything a video. Hello, fellow humans. I'm done with that book, so I wanted to show you the book that I've started now. This will be the final book of the vlog because I think I've already filmed enough here, so I just wanted to talk to you about this one since it's pretty short. I'm getting more into just like general literary fiction or Japanese fiction, Korean fiction, things like that. And this one is, I believe, Japanese. I'll have to look into that. I'm already about halfway through with it. This is Hotel Iris by Yoko Ogawa. It was translated by Stephen Snyder, author of The Memory Police. I've heard of that book and I've heard that people really like it. Based off of this novel so far, I might pick it up. We're following this girl who's 17 years old, and she pretty much has been cut off from being a teenager by her mother to work at their hotel, which is kind of dingy, but she has her own reasons for making her work there, and it's not really fair to the girl, but she's just doing what her mom wants her to do. She doesn't really have a social life. She doesn't have friends. She doesn't have anything to do other than work for this hotel, and her mother makes sure that she looks a very specific way. She controls how she looks, dresses, does her hair. It's very gross to me. I don't like it, and it's not really fair to her. So she obviously has a lot of pent up frustrations and makes some really bad judgment calls involving this older man, like very old. I don't even know if it says exactly how old he is, but I'm getting like 60s vibes from this man. I don't know for sure. Maybe he's only 30, but she ends up seeing him at this hotel. He embarrasses himself, makes a scene, they kick him out, and she like is just drawn to him for some reason. So it gets very PDF file-ish. It's kind of hard to read at times. I still am enjoying the book. And I've read at least 2 other books that have PDF files in them. So it's not like something I can't read. And there was an assault in this, or was it an assault? I don't even, because if this is in Japan, then she's of age. But you know what I'm saying? Like, she still seems very childlike to me. Very unable to make her own decisions. So I'm gonna say this is very PDF file heavy, and it's very triggering. Do not pick this up if you are triggered by sexual assault or PDF file stuff, especially with what's going on in the US right now. I totally understand not wanting to read this, and I understand so far why it has such low ratings on Goodreads. I did not look that up. I didn't even know this had that in it. I didn't really read much about what this was. I just saw that it was a short Japanese English book, and it seemed interesting off of the short blurb on the back. So I wanted something disturbing, and on the back it says it's disturbing, so that's kind of what I was going for. Kind of like Earthlings was by Sayaka Murata. I keep searching for that high, so inevitably it's going to lead me to reading some messed up stuff. But I have read 2 or 3 other books that have this kind of subject matter, and I enjoy the conversation that we're having, not so much the content being discussed. So I think that I can give an objective review of it when I'm done, and not just say because it has something I don't like in it that it's a bad book. I don't want to be that person. I want to judge the book based off its writing, off of the story, off the characters, off of the vibe, setting, all those things. So I will give you a full review when I'm done, but for now I'm enjoying it. I think it's a really well written book. In the character, like, I'm feeling how she's feeling. I'm very interested in the reasons behind her decisions, because she's doing some weird stuff and letting this guy do some weird stuff. So yeah, I will update you when I can. Mr. Man, is he a good puppy today? I think he is. He went to work with Daddy today and got to meet lots of new people. We ran into so many ladies. Oh, we walked out of my job because he comes to meet me after work. We work right next door to each other, and when we were leaving my office, like 7 women, they were nurses, you could tell, were like shopping or something, and he ran into them, and oh my god, they're, oh, how cute. So he got awed over by a bunch of ladies, which, you know, I totally understand, because look at him. Look at that perfect boy. He's so perfect.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with your official results for your winner by TKO. 1 minute 58 seconds into the second round. In the blue corner, Chris Scarborough.
Keep that jab out there on DJ. Don't wait on the jab. Set him up.
Hi friends, so I just finished reading Hotel Iris. I actually really like this. I gave it 4 stars. The reason I didn't give it 5 is because I think that the ending was kind of lackluster. Other than that, I genuinely really enjoyed this. We're following the girl. She makes some dumb decisions and she gets really, really lucky. She seemed to be like into what he was doing, but also like scared and uncomfortable, but still into it. So it's a really weird mixed bag of vibes. I can't say I recommend this book though, unless you're someone who just really likes to read very difficult things. The older man character was in his 60s. I was correct. It was confirmed later. I don't like him at all. He's oogie, very PDF file-esque. Yeah, just really oogie and gross. But the girl was really interesting to read about. Her mom was terribly abusive in my opinion. Not physically, but just controlling and everything. It was good. I liked it. I don't think it's for everyone, but it was a nice short read. I couldn't put it down really unless I had to, so I did enjoy it. Thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed the vlog. It wasn't the most exciting thing going on here, but you know, not every day is like a merry-go-round circus situation. So I hope you enjoyed kind of this day in the life, week in the life, whenever I ended up starting this. I can't even remember the first day I started this vlog, but a lot of things have happened and I hope you enjoyed the clips and the fun times and the book reviews. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Be sure to leave me any book recs for things that you think I might like in the comments. I always love getting some fun book recs, manga recs, those kinds of things. And I will see you in the next vlog. Bye guys!